Let's finish a junk journal together. Today is the last day, can you believe it, of the Junk Journal January 2025 prompts, and today I am doing the final prompt in the challenge, which is letter. And I thought, what better way to create the last page than to make a space where I can tuck in some notes and add some extra journaling to it, almost as a built-in pocket with this envelope that's ready for me to put a letter in, because I thought that letter would be such a nice way to wrap up the prompts. And you can also interpret it in a few different ways. So whether it's adding like an actual letter into your journal, or doing like hand lettering and looking at fonts and typography. Like I also did some hand lettering for a quote to finish off this page as well. So what I did for this envelope here, you'll see I'm kind of making it like a built-in pocket rather than adding the envelope directly into this journal, because as you saw at the start of this video, this journal has been through it. It's very chunky, and I just thought I will not tip in anything extra to this journal. So I decided to cut off the back of this envelope, the part where you have the opening for adding something into it, and I'm going to attach that to the page that I'm working on. So I'm just creating a bit of a base here with some extra paper and washi tape just for a bit of interest, to then come in and add some stamping. So I have these stamps that I think are from Hobbycraft, I want to say, and they are like male themed. So I just thought that that would be absolutely perfect for the prompt of letter. So this one is a like old-fashioned post box, and you saw I was adding the ink there quite liberally, but that's because this stamp is really detailed and I wanted to make sure that I inked it up in all the different areas that I needed to. So you can see here the detail that's on this. I really love the way that that looks, and so I kept it fairly simple because I did want that to be the sort of standout piece. I didn't want to detract too much from anything else that was going on. So I just added some glue around the top and the side of the envelope here to then attach it to my page. You can also use a bit of like washi tape or sellotape, or even like some hand stitching. I might end up coming in with that, to be honest, just to add a bit of a finishing touch and to make sure that the page is nice and secure. But that just creates a really simple and easy then tuck spot for this journal. I did add a bit of colour to this page, so just with a bit of pink washi tape here, just to bring in like the colour that was on the left hand side of the page, so that it didn't feel too distinct from each other. I kind of wanted to help bring those two pages together a little bit, but I just thought that having this pocket here is a really nice way to end the journal. Now there are extra pages in the back, but to be honest I might just ignore them or glue them shut, because I feel like this is a really nice ending to this journal. And I'm just lettering here a quote, which I struggled with a little bit because of the paper that I'd added, and I was trying to make sure that I didn't like make any like blotches when I was going like from one piece of paper to another, if that makes sense. So I was trying to make sure that the lettering was fairly smooth, but I just wrote "find joy in the ordinary," which I think was really perfect to encapsulate everything from this junk journaling challenge and just junk journaling in general, and how we can find joy in just this little silly craft that we do, that doesn't really have a huge amount of meaning, but also at the same time it does to me, because it's such a nice therapeutic craft and the community is amazing, which if you've been joining in with the challenge throughout the month, I'm sure you will have encountered that as well. There's been so many journals and pages and so much creativity that's been shared, and that has just been so amazing to see throughout the month of January. And so I hope that you've enjoyed joining in with the challenge, whether you've done this just a few days of the prompts, or whether you've been joining in every single day and watching the collaboration videos as well. A massive thank you to all of the creators and artists who shared their wonderful creations for that. It was so lovely to see. I hadn't seen any of the pages before they were published each day, so I was watching alongside you guys, seeing what the different interpretations were, and I think it's so lovely to see like all the different art styles and the different ways that we can create with just like a simple prompt, like how just one word for a prompt can spark so many different ideas. And I think when I come to doing a bit of journaling on the piece of paper here that you see, I'm folding and just trimming down to size to go inside the pocket. When I journal in that, I'm definitely going to be reflecting, I think, on this month. So if you wanted to have a bit of a letter within your journal, then that's something that maybe you could use almost as a bit of a prompt. If you're not quite sure what to write about, you could maybe just reflect on like the maybe techniques you've been trying, things you've learned, what you've enjoyed, what you haven't, and what you won't do again in your journal. There's definitely been moments like that throughout the month for me where I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not going to do that within my journal again, but it's all a learning process and it's just having fun in our journals at the end of the day. So I decided to create a little bit of, I'm going to call it almost like a scrappy tab, because I wanted to have something on this piece of folded paper that would make it easy to get this piece of paper in and out of the pocket. And so I just use like a little bit of scrap paper and also a botanical like sticker here. It's almost like a faux stamp. And then I also came in with some stitching, which this is why I was calling it like a scrappy tab almost, because the stitching that I did, so normally when I do hand stitching, I'll do like little crisscrosses or little lines, and like it's never anything that's precise at all. But I decided to really just do like a bit of like haphazard stitching, you'll see in a moment, and I think it just added the right amount of like texture and pop of color and interest, and it's just something you can do and you don't have to think about it too much, but it still adds a nice bit of depth, I think, to the page. And I used the same pink that I used on one of the previous pages, which I think is something that definitely helped to bring them both together so it didn't feel too disconnected. But other than these little bits, like I did keep it really simple and left that space to be able to come in and then add the writing that I want to on this little piece of paper, and then I can just tuck it nicely within that little pocket, and that is the finished, not only the finished page, that's the finished junk journal. So as I said, I hope you've enjoyed joining me for the process of journaling in this little junk journal. I will leave down below, there's a playlist I've got if you want to catch up on any of the pages that I've made within this journal. You can see all of the processes and the highlights and the lowlights, because I kept in everything pretty much from the process of making these pages. There's lots of different like techniques and things I tried, so it's a real journey if you want to join me on that. But yeah, I'd love to know what your favorite prompt was maybe from this challenge, or one that surprised you. What did you think you weren't going to necessarily enjoy as a prompt, but then you did end up enjoying what you created for it? Because I think those are sometimes the best prompts, the ones that surprise us and then make us think of completely new things that we can use within our journals.